Hello, and welcome back to Tabletop Thoughts. Today, we are going to take the first part of looking at my collection of role-playing games. Welcome back. Today, I thought I would go through the first part of the role-playing games that I have collected over the years. These are mostly, if we look at this bottom shelf down here in my office, that bottom shelf is all just 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons books. I have the rest of my older editions are all upstairs in the spare bedroom on a different shelf, but this was just my Dungeons & Dragons. And up here is all of my superhero games. So I have them all separated like this because for the longest time I played a lot of Dungeons & Dragons. The 5th edition, I used to run a couple of different campaigns. I'd probably do about 2 a year. I used to play at a place called the Malted Meeple. It was in Hudson, Ohio. It was a board game cafe that opened up and they moved into a bigger building. It was doing great, and then COVID killed it, unfortunately. But you had to play published modules if you ran for them, and then they would have a table. People would pay $5 to come in and play. Everybody paid unless you were running a table. You didn't have to pay the $5. But so like I had like the Dungeon Master's Guide, with my Monster Manual, Player's Handbook. So I had all those, but then every time the new module would come out, like I have everything from Xanathar's and Tasha's. God, I don't even know what this one is. It's a special cover. Morning Canaan's. Yep. Van Richter's Guide to Ravenloft. Eberron. Here's Sword Coast. I never played Candlekeep Mysteries, but I bought it. I was going to run it. Never did the Treasure of Dragons. Never did that one. Ravnica. Yeah. Out of the Abyss. I ran that twice for 2 different groups. I love the first part of this when you're down in the Underdark and you escape and you're running around. That was awesome. Once you get out and you have to go back in, I didn't really care for that. Waterdeep never played. Ghost of Saltmarsh. One of the other players was going to run that for us, but it never happened. Storm King Thunder, I think I played in that one. It was okay. Tomb of Annihilation, I ran this one. I really didn't like it because since there's like that timer where everybody's dying who was ever resurrected and that, nobody wanted to do like any kind of side quest. It was like, we got to get to the source of the curse and stop it because people are dying and that. So any little extra thing that would pop up, everybody was like, yep, just ignore it. I didn't really care. I felt rushed. Strixhaven, I don't know, that feels like a Harry Potter thing. We never played that. Acquisitions, never played anything in it. I just bought it. I loved the when they had their podcast or whatever they were doing. That was mostly, they did that for 4th edition when it first came out. So I really liked that. So, but I of course liked 4th edition. So don't shoot me. Prince of the Apocalypse, I ran once. We never did Waterdeep. Or the Dragon Queen and Rise of Tiamat. I played in that one. I didn't really like it. It felt very railroady, like you're following this treasure and you have to do it step by step, everything they said. It was the first one they released and I didn't think it was very good. Wildmont, that is Critical Role. I liked the first season. I listened to most of that and then I quit. Second season came along when they were Vox Machina was first season. Second season was Mighty Nine. I listened to about half of that and then I lost interest, never listened to any of it after that. Curse of Strahd, I ran twice for 2 different groups. That was definitely my favorite. Witchlight, never played. Dawning Portal, I have most of the other modules, but never really ran that one. Never ran that one. Icewind Dale was the last one we started, and then we kind of stopped because of COVID. So that was it for Dungeons & Dragons, at least the 5th edition. Now, superheroes, if I had to guess, if I had to rank them, I think I actually care for superhero games slightly more. I grew up in the 80s with comic books and that, so superheroes was my thing. So the first one I have here is this Marvel role-playing game, this Marvel Universe game. I got this. I bought all 3 books when they had them out. I can't stand this game. It has no dice. Everything is like, you get so much energy and you kind of put it into your different powers, and whoever puts the most dice, most markers or points into it, you win type thing. It's just hard to understand. Didn't care for it. Margaret Weisman later came out with this Marvel Heroic Roleplaying game. This one wasn't too bad. It was, you can see I bought all the books they had for that one, but the main book here, here's the Civil War book, but you can see, like, here's the character sheet. You had different dice for different powers, and you always rolled, like, if you were a solo, buddy, or a team, you would pick a power and roll off of that. You could pick a, like, if you had this, you could pick out one of your, I forget what these were called, like masteries or skills. So you get one of these, you get one of those, you get one of those, you roll it out, and whoever had the highest number on their dice won. It was okay. I played it with my brothers. We were playing that. God, it was before COVID and everything. It wasn't too bad. We were going through Civil War. Wasn't a bad game. Icons. Icons is fun. It's really campy. It's a 4-color type game, but I bought that, the extra powers. Fate and Goat games came out. There's just like a bunch of extra characters, and then at one point I kickstarted a hero pack, and if you put enough money towards it, like Lady Shade there's my name, and if you paid for like a certain level, they would actually take a character. So my wife plays City of Heroes, and her favorite character at the time was Lady Shade, so I actually wrote her up in Icons and took a screenshot, and they actually made her into a character that was published. So this is, they got a backstory and everything, but this was my wife's character actually published in a game. Then I also kickstarted this Stark campaign setting. It was from Fate and Go games. It was okay. And then here, Mutants Masterminds. This is, I would have to say my favorite superhero game. But it's between that and it's over here in this folder. I pulled this off the shelf, but I'll show you. My first one ever. Probably you guys remember this. Marvel superheroes. Fast Rip. Yep, I had the books and everything like that. I lost them after a while, so I found a PDF and I printed it all out. But Mutants Masterminds is a point buy. It's a lot of crunch into building your characters, because you can make any powers. There are books on powers and stuff like that. But it is a point buy system where you're a certain level, you get so many points, and you put so many points into strength, you get stronger, stuff like that. So first edition, I bought that. Eventually they came out with a second edition, which was here, and it was based in a place called Freedom City, which is, if you think about it, it's supposed to be like Freedom City, I would guess, either Philadelphia or New York. It's a East Coast city. They have heroes and everything like that. I bought the books for that, some extra books. And then when they came out with the third edition, they actually, I think I'm going backwards, yeah, they released 4 books, and they did it, and they called it DC Adventures. So this was the third edition of Mutants Masterminds. So they released it this way first, and then they released it as its own standalone game. But the last 2 books are the heroes and villains. So it has everybody that you could think of: Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Hourman, you name them. they are in probably one of these two books. Then they released their own 3rd edition after that, with a bunch of books, and of course I bought them all. And then there was even some third-party people who came along. Oops. But for the 3rd edition, they went to, let me see if I have a book. There it is, Emerald City. So while 2nd edition was East Coast, Emerald City is supposed to be like Seattle, so they went West Coast for the 3rd edition. But they have, like, you know, time travelers, super team handbooks, cosmic powers, magic powers. They had a hero high, so you could be slightly less powerful, but you're like teenagers. Some third-party people came out with, I really like the Vigilance Press, so 4th edition's coming, so hopefully they get back into the superhero game. But they had these rogues and renegades books, so it was just 2 books of villains and anti-heroes. Mutants Masterminds released their own rogues gallery, just a bunch of, you know, NPC bad guys. Jacob Blockman came out with this set. So first of all, the superpowered bestiary, that was the first one released, and it is really taking almost like the monster manual and making it for Mutants Masters 3rd edition. So you can see there's hags and dragon turtles and dragons, and he statted them all out and gave them power levels and powers. So that's all. That was pretty cool. So if you ever wanted to play, you know, have mystical things like what was it, the 2nd Shazam movie, where, you know, you had unicorns and trolls and everything else running around, you have them all statted. Then he released these 2, I think I kickstarted both of them, that Legends. So what he did was he took your Marvel characters and he filed off the serial numbers and recreated them. So, like, instead of having the Rhino, he has the Triceratops. You know, instead of like Thor, he has, oh man, I forget her name, Jupiter, I think. But yeah, so it's all like, she had lightning powers. Spider-Man is Recluse. They have a guy for the Moon Knight. So he takes all of the heroes and villains from Marvel, slightly changes them, so when you're reading along, you're like, hey, I know who that is. That was pretty cool. I really liked it. Like, I think this is supposed to be like the guy who's Dr. Octopus, but instead of having like all those arms, he has extra legs that are robotic. So we have 2 Force books of those. And then I have all of the, like I said, there was Vigilance Press would release their own like little books. So they had like an evil group called the Octobermen, which were all like demons and werewolves and some evil nun, sorry. And then they had the Black Chapter, which was like the anti-heroes. They were like, one's a vampire, one's like a Jekyll Hyde type character, but they're all technically good. And then yeah, he had one there was called Six Gun, that they're all cyborgs, stuff like that. So that's my superhero collection. So the 4th edition of Mutants and Masterminds will be out this year, next year. I know they're working on it. The Kickstarter went through, so that will be coming. And then my Dungeons and Dragons collection, that's about as big as it's going to get, because I'm really not interested in the 5.5 edition. Next time I will go through and look at some of my other books that are in the other room. Thank you. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this, check out the next video right here. It's packed with more great content. And as always, keep on gaming.